Hi, my name is Teresa. I am a woman, wife, and mother conquering chronic illness. And today, let's talk about real spiritual growth. Hey, could you do me a favor? Subscribe, and I'll see you in the comment section down below. The past 2 years have been really about uncovering what I say I believe and figuring out what I actually believe. And here are some things that I did to get there. Turns out a lot of what I said I believe, I didn't actually believe. And I think that is a lot. I think that's true for a lot of people. As they move into adulthood, we parrot a lot of what we think our family and our friends and our society feels like we should believe and be, whether it comes to spirituality, spirituality. Is that the word? Spirituality? It doesn't sound right. I may just be having a brain fart. When it comes to religion and morals and ethics and all that good stuff, we put on kind of a persona of what we feel like the world. We put on a persona of what we feel like the world thinks we should be, right? So first thing, let go of all of that. Let go of what you feel like people think you should be, or how people think you should be, including yourself. Include yourself in the people that you should let go of this idea of this ideal person that is yourself. It's okay for you to disappoint people. And you're going to have to be okay with that, because people will be disappointed when you don't measure up to their expectations of you, because a lot of their expectations are rooted in fear, right? Fear of you missing heaven, fear of you struggling financially, fear of you being outcasted in society, or fear of you making them look bad because you're different from what they expected you, or what people expect them to be as well, right? And sometimes we internalize that fear, and sometimes we internalize that fear, and living a life based in fear does not get you into the life of joy and peace and abundance that you want. That sounds really frou-frou, but the truth is a lot of what we do is because we're scared to do something else. Second thing, question everything. I have gotten into a practice of questioning everything that I do, everything that I think, everything that I believe, everything that I want, and the motives behind why I want it. I think maybe because I'm an older millennial, and maybe a Gen Xer thing too as well. I think younger millennials and Gen Z are a little bit better about this, but we were taught from adults not to question authority, right? But if you don't learn to question authority, what happens when you become the authority on your own life? What happens when you're the boss of your own destiny? You haven't asked the questions about why certain rules were made, or why certain things were done a certain way, or why you should believe some things, or why you shouldn't believe certain things, or why you haven't asked those questions, so you don't know why things are done. Right? And you're just doing things because someone told you to do them. But when you start to question, a lot of times you realize that some of the things and the boundaries that we've put around our life are really just generational curses. There are some things that we came out okay from that we really aren't okay from. We really should probably go to counseling about. And when we start asking the questions like, how do I feel about this? What do I think about this? Well, why do we do it this way? It gives us the opportunity to really think about what we want to be and where we want to do and how we want to be in life is reflected by what we think, believe, and feel. and the rules and parameters that we set up on our life. So ask questions. Great place to get some questions, books. Read a book. Like, I don't know why we feel like in life we should stop reading. We've read our entire lives. We get out of college and the average adult reads a book a year or less. Like, come on, guys. Like, I'm not saying you have to read every book in the library. Every book that you read has to be cerebral. I think sometimes even reading fiction books gives us the idea in different points of view, or gives us a chance to imagine with sci-fi. And true, also read informational books. Like, we have theories about politics and health and blah and blah and blah that are substantiated and supported by Google searches. Read a book. There are doctors and lawyers and real life people who have survived amazing things who have written books. There are people who have written books about the Bible. Sure, read the Bible, but know what the Bible is and where it comes from and how it's been changed over the centuries, and what sort of political movements have affected its translation. There are all sorts of things that you could learn if you would just read a book, and it would answer so many questions that you have. You wouldn't have to worry about what other people thought if you had some thoughts of your own, and that comes from gaining knowledge. And the easy way to do that is to read a book. Most people can't afford to be lifelong students and go to college all the time, so I mean, a library card is a very cheap way to do that. Okay. Feel feelings, y'all. I've talked about feeling my feelings on this channel, on Team Lawson, for the past 2 or 3 years. I did not realize that I was stuffing feelings down as much. And I kind of knew about anger, that I would stuff my feelings down when it came to anger, but I stuff all sorts of feelings down, like anxiousness and frustration and sadness and joy. Sometimes I don't even allow myself to be happy, because what if it goes away? What if it's just short-lived? Or what if I don't deserve this sort of happiness? Like, y'all, feel the feelings and don't hold on to them and harbor them. Feel them and let them move through you. Listen, y'all, I be cussing. Not a lot, not really in conversation, but I found a good S word or a D word or a good F-bomb really helps the frustration and the anger and the anxiety move through you. You feel the feeling, you say the word to get the feeling out, slam a door, slam a book, throw something away, yell and scream, and then you're over the feeling. You don't have to harbor it and stuff it down. Cry the tears. Oh, Lord, y'all, my baby girl is going through transition right now. She was in the same school for pre-K through 2nd grade. She went to 1st grade twice, so pre-K, kindergarten, 1st grade, 5 full years she went to the same school. She was with the same people, teachers, therapists. She had a whole family of people there. She's changed schools. It is really hard for her, and she be crying. And I let her cry because it's sad, baby. Cry those tears. The first thing we do when we see our kid, we want crying or they're hurt. It's all right. No, it's not. They're sad and they have every right to be sad. They're hurt and they have every right to be hurt. And so do you. Like, acknowledge the feelings that you have, as uncomfortable as they are. Sometimes it's as simple as saying, I'm angry. You made me upset when you did that. I'm sad right now and this is sad. I know it's kind of silly and I know it's not a big deal, but it makes me really sad, right? Allow yourself to feel the feelings so that you can move through them and move past them. And so you're not emotionally stuck in a specific point in time. I realized that for a lot of things, I was stuck in college emotionally, because that was the last time that I really felt things. I had all these coping mechanisms to avoid. I really thought it was helping me deal with feelings, but really what it was doing was helping me avoid feelings. Hyper spirituality, hyper morality, like trying to be as good as I possibly could so that I wouldn't allow myself to feel quote unquote negative emotions like anger and frustration and bitterness towards people. I wouldn't allow myself to feel those things. But if you don't feel them, they stay with you. And your spirit cannot grow if you're harboring the emotions and the feelings, whether they're positive or quote unquote negative, because there's really no negative feelings, they're just feelings. But if you're just holding on to them because you're not allowing yourself to move through them and feel past them, then you're not going to be able to make that growth that you want to make spiritually. Last thing, probably should have been the first thing, go to therapy. Like the chat that you have with your girlfriends or the barbershop chat or even church service, those are coping mechanisms. That's not therapy. Therapy is a professional practice of dealing with feelings, emotions, and experiences and coming up with real life strategies to move through and past them so that you are a better person. It is not making you feel good till next Sunday. It is not making you feel like, I love listening to Vito. You Got It. Is that her name? Go Get It. You Got It. I can't remember Vito's song. But it makes me feel really good. But that is not a strategy to be able to accomplish things in life. Like, it is a motivator to help me want to get to the strategy, but it's not an actual strategy. And sometimes we need help coming up with those strategies. Sometimes we need help getting over some of the traumas that we face in our lives and recognizing that some things are trauma. One thing that I learned in therapy is that a lot of my life wasn't as good as I thought it was. A lot of the stuff that I thought I was okay with, I was not okay with. And a lot of the people that were in my life that I thought I had made peace with so they could still be in my life were not good for me and they couldn't be in my life. And I think a lot of us are stuck in situations with stagnant spiritual growth because we don't have the tools to recognize that we're stuck, one. And even if we do recognize we're stuck, we don't have the tools to get out of that place. And you're not going, as much work as you can do independently, we need people. And we need people who are expertise in certain things. And psychologists and psychiatrists and counselors and social workers are expertise at dealing with feelings and coming up with strategies to move past sticky situations. There's no way around it. You need therapy like you need a dentist and a doctor. Go to therapy. And anybody tells you that you don't need therapy does not have your best interest at heart. And if they ask you where you got that from, tell them Teresa said so. You need to go to therapy. That is spiritual growth. Hopefully that helps you on the road to your spiritual growth journey. I think I may do some more videos on this about some of the things that I'm doing to grow myself a little bit. But yeah. Comment down below what are some things that you are doing to grow spiritually. Love to hear it, love to see it. I'll see you in the comment section and in the next video.